Hey there, virtual world. How are you? Cassandra Austin McDonald coming to you live to share some insights that I have been gleaning from this documentary that I was watching. And so before I share what documentary I was watching and the insights that I've gleaned from it, let me know if you are watching the replay of this live stream by typing in hashtag vision, hashtag vision. If you're new to my corner on these internet streets, welcome. Please let me know that you're new so that I can welcome you to my corner on these internet streets and I can say hello. And if you are completely new to me and have no clue of who the heck I am, my name is Cassandra Austin McDonald. I am a coach for empathic, high-achieving women to activate your power so that you are creating the life, love, and legacy of your dreams in a fulfilling and aligned way. And I had a beautiful workshop I facilitated earlier today called the Inevitable Vision Workshop. It's a workshop I facilitate annually at the top of the new year. And this was the best one yet. And I'm really honored and proud of it to be able to lead this work with the amazing, powerful women that trust me to walk with them on their journeys as they're creating the life and the relationships and the success of their dreams. And I was feeling like I wanted to watch something after the workshop to relax and kind of settle into, let me delete that. I don't want that on there. To relax and just kind of settle into the rest of the day because it was a 3.5 hour workshop. And so I was like, I just want to relax. But I didn't want to watch something that didn't inspire me. I wanted to watch something that moved me, that inspired me, and something I can learn from. I'm in a season of my life right now where I'm really being mindful about what I'm watching, even when it comes to movies. And I've always been this way since I've been on this sacred path, but I feel like the level of intentionality has deepened in this particular season because of the vision I have for myself and my life and where I would desire to go. Hey there, Alice, how are you, dear? And I came across Coach Prime, y'all know Prime Time, Deion Sanders, and there's a documentary that just came out at the top of the year about him. Happy Saturday, my dear. And y'all, I'm only one episode in and I was writing notes. Like I'm a note taker, okay? I'm a note taker. And when I hear gems and something really resonates with my soul and I feel like I have heard something that I can really reflect on and deepen the meaning that it has for me and my life and how it applies to the vision that I have for my life and what I'm creating in my life, I like to just jot it down. And so he said some really powerful nuggets in just one episode. I'm just one episode in and I've already have 2 pages of notes of the powerful nuggets that he mentioned. But there's 2 things I wanted to share on this particular live stream. And the first thing that he said that I really wanted to talk about for this live stream was he said, don't allow home to interfere with your work and don't allow work to interfere with your home. And I started thinking about the women that I have worked with over the years who tend to be high performing women who are building successful careers, whether if they have a leadership role in corporate or they are building businesses and they also are mothers and wives, or they desire to have that as a part of their life as they're creating this beautiful success for themselves. And when I heard him say, don't allow home to interfere with your work and don't allow work to interfere with home, I started thinking about the women I've worked with, where the women I've worked with who have had breakdowns in their relationships with their partner. And oftentimes it was because of that very thing. It was that very thing. They were allowing work to interfere with their home and home to interfere with their work. And they weren't shifting into their version of themselves based on where they were. And so there was something else he said that was really powerful. Wherever your feet are, be there. I actually ad-libbed. He said something different. I paraphrased. That's my little twist on it. But wherever your feet are, be there, meaning be present. If you're with a client, be present. If you're with your team, be present. If you're working on a project, be present. If you're with your partner, be present. If you're with your kids, be present. As I was watching this documentary and listening to him, he was coaching his new team. He was a new coach this is before all the transitions happened, but he was a new coach at Jackson State, and he was bringing on new team members, and he was training them with their mindset about how he wants them to approach not just how they play the game of football, but also how they play the game of life. Who are they being on and off the field? And I love this because this is the work I do. Who are you being in and out of the work you do? Who are you being at home? Who are you being in your positions? Who are you being in your roles? And who are you being as a mother? And who are you being as a wife? And who are you being as a partner? And who are you being as a woman? Because wherever you go, there you are. And so this part that I kind of ad-libbed, wherever your feet are, be there. I was thinking about this work that I have done. And a particular client came to mind. Consent was given to share this story. She has a video testimonial on my website. And so I always get consent from clients before sharing stories. But this particular client, at the time that we were working together, she was running a multiple six-figure company, and she is a wife. She's a mother of two beautiful children also. And she was really experiencing a lot of imbalance in her life. There was breakdown happening in her marriage. There was breakdown happening with her relationship with her kids. And she was feeling a lot of stress and overwhelm in her business, trying to keep up with the image that she had created with her brand, and feeling a lot of pressure to perform. And it was starting to generate some imposter syndrome in her. And it was starting to generate some comparisonitis within her. And it was starting to generate some feelings that were really starting to turn into saboteurs, not just in her business, but in her marriage and in her family life and in her home life. And what I realized during our time of working together was that she was not being wherever her feet were. When she was at home, she was thinking about work. And when she was at work, she was thinking about this. And when her mind and her feet were in two different places. And this is how the stress happens. This is how the breakdown happens in relationships and in business and your career, because you're physically present somewhere, but you're mentally somewhere else. And so we started working on shifting her back into her alignment, and also working on her being present wherever she was. And so when she was a wife, be a wife. And when she was being a CEO, be a CEO. And when she was being a mom, be a mom. We get to give ourselves permission to have all parts of ourselves on this journey called life. It's not about fragmenting and segmenting your parts so that you have to fit into just this one identity. We're so complex as human beings. You get to be flexible in how you show up. And so if you have a partner, when you're in the room with your partner, be with your partner. If you have kids, be with your kids. If you're a CEO and you're in a meeting, or you're coaching a client, or you're meeting with your team members, or whatever you're doing, be with them. Be. Meditation is great with this. Shirley Stevenson. I would say, yes, meditation is a great tool. It's a great tool, but there's a lot of other elements and nuances to this. And that's the thing. A lot of people approach this from, I'm just going to get on the Calm app and I'm just going to meditate and I'm just going to do this. But your approach to something even matters. Your approach to something even matters. Because when you approach things to fix something, typically what I have found is that's when we fall out of alignment, because we're trying to fix. There's nothing about ourselves that needs to be fixed, because there's nothing wrong with who we are. It's merely about bringing our presence back into the space, back into the room, bringing our awareness to where we're at. Like that quote says, wherever your feet are, be there. And so what I loved about what he was talking about with his team, Coach Prime, he was coaching his team, and he was talking about, who are you being, not just on the football field, but who are you being when you are in the classroom studying, when you're with your family, when you're with your friends? Who are you being? And talking about how that actually all comes together to create your success. But it's when we start to have our misaligned parts show up, and we're not always being present in this room, and we're not always being ourselves in this space. And we feel like that there's no room, there's no time for all of who we are and all that we are, the roles, the responsibilities, all the things that we have to be, do, and have in our life. But all that's required at any given moment is your presence. Your presence. How present are you being? Where your feet are. And so when I was working with this client, and we did a lot of things. We worked on bringing calm and safety into the body, first and foremost, so that she wasn't feeling any anxiousness about feeling so disturbed by all the things happening in her life, or it felt like everything felt chaotic to her. And this is the thing that I teach a lot in my work, is we don't just approach this from a mindset thing. A lot of people want to approach this from just a mindset thing. I actually approach my work from a mind, body, spirit approach, because we're more than just our mind. We're more than just our thoughts. We have a body, we have a heart, we have a soul. There's more to us than just that. And so we focused on getting her calm in her body. Then we started doing the rewiring work and really focusing on her magnetism as a woman, focusing on her self-care, focusing on how she was approaching different aspects of her life. How was she approaching her business as a CEO? How was she approaching her marriage as a wife? How was she approaching her family as a mother? And it wasn't long before she started experiencing shifts. Some powerful shifts where every area of that I just mentioned, her business, her marriage, her family, shifted. It was like a domino effect. When the woman behind it all gets in tune with herself, and you start to show up with that presence intentionally in your different roles, in the different rooms, and the different responsibilities that you hold and have, there's this beautiful domino effect that tends to happen. Just how you may feel like sometimes life feels chaotic, where it feels like, oh, if it's not one thing, it's another. How many times have we heard that? The same thing rings true on the opposite end of the spectrum, where a positive, empowering domino effect gets to happen for you too. Where as a result of you focusing on who you be, focusing on how you're feeling, your alignment, your magnetism, your well-being, your self-care, when you show up in your business, it can have a positive domino effect. When you show up in your relationships, positive domino effect. When you show up with your family, whatever room you're in, positive domino effect. And that's actually what this client experienced. And so as a result of working together, she had her highest sales day in a day, not a month, not a week, but in a day she had ever had in her business. She had more clarity than ever in her business. She was having creative ideas popping like that because her mind was open. She wasn't focused and clouded by stress and overwhelm and worrying about her marriage and worrying about her family. Her marriage was in the best place it had ever been in. And her quote was they were having the best sex they had ever had. That was her quote, okay? And she built a new, beautiful relationship with her children, where they started opening up more, sharing things with her that they had not been sharing with her. So there was this powerful domino effect that happened as a result of her focusing on herself as a woman. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because I find so much that powerhouse women, my type A go-getter, you just want to get it done, tell you what to do and you're going to go do the thing, that sometimes you just need to focus on being. There's so much power in who you are, in your essence, in just you. And when you get that opened up within yourself and you start feeling more alive, you start accessing more vitality, you start feeling more empowered, you start feeling more confident, you start having more clarity when you go do the things, you get different results. And they tend to be the results that you actually want. And so I'm going to repeat this quote again that I heard Coach Prime say. He said, don't allow home to interfere with your work, and don't allow work to interfere with your home. Wherever your feet are, be there. Be present. Trust that your presence in a moment of time is not robbing whatever you think is not going to get done or not going to happen because you're not thinking about it. Because you thinking about it isn't going to change it. But your presence, your conscious awareness, your creativity, your clarity, your trust, your surrender, that will change things. But the overthinking and the overwhelm and the stress, that just is no bueno. And so I felt really inspired to come and share this because, like I said, I was listening to this documentary and the way he was just dropping these nuggets, like, I'm sure I'm going to start, maybe I'll do a live stream series about this documentary because I think it's a multi-series episode type of thing. But I really wanted to come and share that takeaway that I had gotten as I was thinking about the work that I do and the women that I tend to work with and the importance of focusing on you as a woman. We get so caught up in the rat race and the hustling and the grinding and wanting to get to the next level and wanting to get the next client or get this opportunity or what have you. But I have found that when I focus on even for myself, y'all, even for myself, not just the women I've worked with, even for me, when I sit back and just be, it's like the windows of heaven open up. Truly, I know I'm being funny, but truly, it does feel like that because I have more clarity. I feel more confident, not just in myself, but in the inevitability of what I desire to come into fruition. Like I have this deep level of trust in it. I don't need to overthink and overwhelm myself about it. I just surrender into the trust and the knowing that what I desire exists for me. And as long as where my feet are, I'm being there and present, it's inevitable, it's going to happen. But if I'm in one room thinking about the next room and I'm creating more overwhelm and overthinking and stress for myself, that's not going to help anything. It certainly isn't going to help me. So if you don't take anything from this live stream, I would hope that you take away from this that wherever your feet are, be there. If your feet are in the office, be there. If your feet are in the team meeting, be there. If your feet are with your partner, be there. If your feet are with your kids, be there. And trust that everything else will come into alignment and flow better because you're being present with wherever you're at and you're bringing more focus and you're bringing more attention, you're bringing more clarity to your presence. And when we feel good about that, when we feel good about our lives, not just our business, not just our success, not just how much money we're making, but when we feel good about who we're being and how we're showing up in different areas of our lives and our relationships, it has a beautifully positive impact. Hey, Dietrich, she says, hey, Cass, this was good. I'm going to check out that documentary. I've been looking at it. It is so fire. When I tell you I've been over here on 10, I know the mister looking at it like this girl. And I was for those who don't know, I was a Division I collegiate track and field athlete, okay? And so I'm a tomboy athletic girl through and through. So if it's sports related, I'm all over it, okay? I love sports. But I love me some Coach Prime, okay? Prime Time, Deion Sanders, he's the real deal, okay? Because he be in there quoting Bible scriptures. He be in there dropping nuggets and gems. He keeps it real. He's an amazing transformational speaker. I would say he's beyond a motivational speaker. He's a transformational speaker, and there's a difference between the two. There's a difference between being a motivational speaker and a transformational speaker. He is transforming those young men's lives just by his spoken word. It's so powerful to watch. And so I'm over here all lit up, y'all. After half a day of teaching a workshop, and I'm back here live talking to y'all because that's how lit up I got about this. I was like, let me come talk to my people. And remind y'all that wherever your feet are, be there. Be there. Be there. There's this mantra that I've been saying this since forever because I ran track. My race, my pace, my lane, my shine. When we're running in a track race, we get our own assigned lanes. And if you veer off into another lane, you get disqualified. If you look behind you to see if somebody's coming up behind you, you slow down. And so one of my mantras I developed during my track career was my race, my pace, my lane, my shine. As long as I'm in my own lane, focused on what's in front of me, running my own race at my own pace, then I get to shine. And I've taken that mindset with me in different areas of my life. And you can apply that mindset to any area of your life. You can apply it to your business, your career. You can apply it to your relationship. I have a big belief, and I was talking about this earlier in the Inevitable Vision Workshop, the importance of not comparing your vision to other people's vision. That includes your relationship, your life, your body, your business, your brand. Stop comparing yourself, because you were wonderfully, fearfully made. You are unique. There's only one of you. There is a reason why we have a fingerprint. And the criminal justice field decided to use fingerprints and blood samples for DNA to identify who we are individually, because you can only identify you by that. And there's only one you, which means no one else can replicate your fingerprint or your DNA. And so there's no reason to compare ourselves to other people, because there's only one you. There's only one you. So I'm about to go on my whole little rant here and get off into a whole nother topic, but I hope this inspired you to be present where your feet are. And if you are the type of woman that I described, and you know that you have been all over the place with your relationships and your business, and you're ready to just have more peace and more serenity and feel more empowered in your womanhood, you want to feel more connected to your partner, you want to feel more empowered in your company, and you want to do it from an aligned way, then you can private message me to apply for my Whole New Woman private coaching and mentorship. It is application only, and we can chat it up in the DMs about what that would look like for you. But thank you for being here. And if you know someone who'd be interested in hearing about what I just shared, please share this live stream. That would mean a lot to me. And if y'all feel inspired, go check out Coach Prime, because he is telling the truth over there. I think it's on Amazon Prime. That's funny. Coach Prime, Amazon Prime. Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. So, all right. I'll talk to y'all soon. Take care now.